Peace, and more peace. Ramadan Mubarak to the Muslims. Peace and blessings to everybody. Day 2 of Ramadan campaign show live Sunday school. It's gonna be different energy. You can see on the screen. Just trying to make people familiar a little bit with Ramadan and with the Quran and how it's much more simple it is and easy it is to read than Bible. I ain't necessarily trying to push no religion, but I do want to make y'all aware and familiar with what 2 billion people on the planet read. And of course, it's different interpretations and stuff like that. But, I'm coming from the NOI, Nation of Islam, um, school of thought or theology interpretation. So I just wanted to share some of that with you. And it's the second day of Ramadan. So each day of Ramadan for 30 days, of course, we fast every day till the sun go down. No eating, no intimate relations, no arguing, no fighting, peace and charity and love and help and prayer and reading and fasting. But each day of the 30 days, you read one part. The Holy Quran is broke up into 30 parts, and we read one part per day. So I'm kind of going to show you a little bit of that. I'm not going to read no whole part because it's kind of long, but it is a few subjects that I want to read to you and give you the how it's interpreted in the Nation of Islam and decoding the certain words that you might not be familiar with. So that's what we're doing on this campaign show live Sunday school edition, day 2 of Ramadan 2025. Spirituality, health, wealth, happiness, relationships, all of that good stuff. So what we're going to do is open it up in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And we're going to start. This is the book. This is the Quran, or the translator that we was taught in the NOI, was easiest for us to read and was closest to our interpretation. And that's the English translation by Maulana Muhammad Ali. So I got in the chat the link. Both of the links is one link to this Quran, Maulana Muhammad Ali, and it's another link right under that to islamawakened.com, and they got all 56 other top translators or English translations of the Quran, of the Holy Quran, so you can pick whatever one is best for you or easiest for you. But our job is just to make the information available, and you rock with whatever one resonates with you. But this is the one that we was guided to read from. This one and the Yusuf Ali, where we were taught with the best for us and our circumstances as descendants of slaves, easiest for us to read. So we're gonna start with the opening. Is chapter 1 called Al-Fatihah, or the opening. Al-Fatihah is just Arabic word meaning the opening, or the opening of the Quran. And it's a whole lot of on this website, whole lot of footnotes and introductions and stuff that you can take with a grain of salt. It's good to study it like for the historic aspect and try to get a concept of what was going on back then. But we get straight to the words, and it's so simple. As you see, it says, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And all of the chapters of the Holy Quran, 114, well, actually only 113, open up with that. So that's not counted as verse 1. That's just the opening of each chapter. Opens up with, in the name of Allah, or in the power, or by the power of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, or the Beneficent, the Gracious, the Merciful. Praise be to Allah, or God. All praise is due to Allah. Praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, with an S, not the Lord of the world, mean all worlds, any worlds that exist. Allah is the God and Lord and supreme master and ruler and creator of. So praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So his two greatest divine, powerful attributes is beneficent, meaning he benefits us meaning he provided all for us. We don't provide nothing for him. The beneficent and the merciful, meaning, his whole purpose for us is to be successful, not to destroy us. He's not some monster that can't wait for us to F up or mess up so he can curse us or, chastise us. No, that's not the nature or the identity or the characteristics of the real God. The real God is just like you would think your mother is supposed to be, or your father. The best mother and father put together is the beneficent, the merciful, the loving, the kind, all of that. So the beneficent, the merciful, master of the day of recompense, which means judgment or reward. Master of the day of judgment or reward. Master of the judgment day. So there's only one judgment day in creation, in history. There was never a master of the judgment day in the past. There's only one time of judgment or day of judgment, and that's the time that we're living in right now, the end of Satan's work and Satan's rule and Satan's 6,000-year influence over our planet. So that master is Master Fard Muhammad. This is our interpretation, our theology and understanding, and we're proving it every day and been proving it for the last 94 years. So master of the day of judgment in which we now live. You, Allah, do we serve, and you do we beseech means seek. You do we serve, and you do we seek for help. Guide us on the right path, because there's many paths and many people saying that their path is the right path and the best path. But we ask you, master of the day of this day of judgment that we living in, to guide us on the right path, which is your path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors. Because the devils and Satan's bestow favors. If you see Hollywood or you see entertainment, sports, it's a whole lot of favors being bestowed, but they're not being bestowed on our people by the God of righteousness. So we praying that, you guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom you, the righteous God, have bestowed your favors, not those upon whom your wrath is brought down. So this God has wrath, just like you do. This God is made out of exactly the same material that you are, because it's the original of us. We are just the reproductions of this God. This is a human being, but is supreme in all of the attributes of righteousness and truth and power. He differs only from us in supreme superiority in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, force, power, and mastery over all things, a human being. So we say, guide us on your right path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors, or your favors, not the path of those upon whom wrath is brought down, your wrath, nor those who go astray from you after they have heard your teaching. We don't fear the wrath of the enemy. We don't fear the wrath of Satan. We at war with Satan. We've been feeling their wrath for the last 470 years here. So that's nothing new. We fear the wrath of the God that has fulfilled the prophecy that allowed us to go through that and allowed to produce Satan, that made the devil in the first place. The God that made devil in the first place. Because this is what we got to become. We got to become mentally and spiritually and emotionally mature enough to ask the God, whoever God is, why did you make devil in the first place? Why is the devil here? Why does evil and wickedness and devils and Satans exist? If you hate them, if you are wrathful against them. So those are the mature questions that we always been answering in the Nation of Islam, and that if your church or your mosque, your synagogue, your temple is not answering them questions and not proving them, then you're going to be deficient. You're going to be deficient in faith. You're going to be deficient in understanding. You're going to be deficient in confidence. You have to know today the purpose behind all things. Why is this like this? The most important question that can be asked is why? Why? So if your theology, your faith, your religion, your professors, your teachers can't answer why and can't prove why, then that's not sufficient. So that was it right there. That was chapter 1. That was chapter 1 of the Holy Quran, called Fatihah. There's only 7 verses, and that 7 verses are called the 7 oft repeated verses, or the prayer that we say 5 times a day. This first chapter is actually a prayer that the Muslims all say 5 times a day. And that again is, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee do we serve, and thee do we seek for help. Guide us on the right path, which is your path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favors, not the path of those upon whom wrath is brought down, your wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after hearing your teaching. Because you can't go astray unless you heard his teachings, right? So let's go to chapter 2. Where is this chapter 2? Oh, my bad. There we go. So yeah, if you go to this website, I got in a link. It lists all of the chapters. You see, the one we just read was the opening, Al-Fatihah. Number 2 is actually the longest chapter. It's like 200, 300, almost 300 verses. So that's pretty long. But this is the list of all of the chapters in the Quran. Al-Fatihah, Baqarah, the cow is, it's English, it's Arabic and English words, so it's easy to learn whatever, if you into that. But I just focus on the English. I don't have really time to try to learn Arabic, so I'm still learning English. But that's how simple it is. The opening is, the first one that we just read, the cow, the family of Amran, the women, the food, the cattle, elevated places, voluntary gifts. So it's all the way to the end. It's 114 verses. So that link is in the chat right there. So y'all can save that, bookmark that on your computer or on your phone and just read it for yourself. And you can see how simple it is. We just read that. So let's look at surah or chapter number 2, which is called the cow, Al-Baqarah, the cow. And this has 40 sections, and you don't have to really pay attention to sections or the footnotes, but it has 286 verses, so almost 300 verses. So I'm not going to read all of that, but we just going to go into a little of it, so I can give you, let you see how it's written and how we interpret it in the nation, and if it makes sense to you. So this is a lot of footnotes that if you into the study and all that, is full of, well documented footnotes. What happened? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. First part is in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. It says, I, Allah, am the best knower. The best knower out of all beings that know anything. I am the best knower. I know best. I, Allah, am the best knower. So this is Allah talking. I, Allah, am the best knower. So the Quran, sometimes is directly Allah talking, and then it's another person of Allah, or another, second person and third person saying that we, Allah, and then some, so you'll hear the difference in tense. I, Allah, am the best knower. This book, the Quran, in which there's no doubt, is a guide to those who keep their duty. This book, there's no doubt in it, is a guide to those who keep their duty. So duty is key. Duty is the real proof of love. So whenever you see the word duty, is really the proof of love. This book, there's no doubt in it. It's a guide to those who keep their duty, or who keep their righteous love, who prove their love. Love and duty is the same thing. Who believe in the unseen. It don't say who believes that God is unseen, or that God is a spirit or a spook. That's not what unseen means. It says who believe in the unseen and who keep up prayer to this God that's unseen. So if we say that God is in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, we don't see him. We saw him, but we don't see him now. Whoever you pray to, you don't see them. So, and whatever forces, gravity, Electromagnetism, strong, weak force, the forces of creation. You don't see them. We don't see them with our physical eye, but those are the most real things that hold together the stuff that we do see with our physical eye. So who believe in the unseen forces and the God who, who controls and masters those unseen forces. We believe. We don't say we know. We don't say that we're absolutely sure, because certain things we can't prove. So intelligently, you have to say we believe in that. We're not blindly believing in anything. We believe in it is based on something that we have proven or we have seen. So we believe based on provable creation already, or provable laws. We believe in the unseen, and we keep up prayer to the God who's in control over those forces. And we spend what we have, whether it's our time, whether it's our energy, whether it's our money, we spend on good works out of what we have given them. So now Allah is calling himself we, right? So look at that. I, Allah, am the best knower, but it said this book, there's no doubt in it. It's a guide to those who keep their duty or prove their love, their righteous love. Those people who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer and spend on the good things of which we have given them. Now Allah is calling himself a we. He went from calling himself I to calling himself we. So that's just like the Bible says, God created this, the heavens and the earth. And then when it came to creating man, he said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. Now he's plural. It's a singular, supreme originator. And then after that, after he reproduces himself, then he speaks as we. Now we are the God that's doing that, and we are doing this. And who believe in what has been revealed to you and what was revealed before you. And of the hereafter, they are sure. So those of us who believe in what has been revealed to us, so like I said, our belief is not blind belief. We believe based on what has already been proven and revealed or created to us, and what was revealed before us, right? Which is, of course, the creation, but he's really talking about the revealed words like prophets and books, like the prophet Abraham and Musa and Jesus and Muhammad, even though this book is revealed to Muhammad and is talking to Muhammad. So he's saying, we believe in all of the books and all of the prophets and prophecies and revelations that the God brought to the people before us. And of the hereafter, they are sure, meaning they're sure that there's something of victory here after, people think that means after you physically die. No, here means here, not there, not somewhere in space, not in the after realm, afterworld, and spiritual realm. No, here on this earth, after the power and influence of Satan or the wicked has been finally broken. That is heaven. That is returning us to the heavenly condition and lifestyle that we enjoyed before we ever produced devil on the planet. We return to the hereafter. Of that, they are sure. We're sure that that's going to happen soon, and we're in the time of that happening right now. It says, these are on a course from their Lord. These are on a right course from their Lord, and these it is that are successful. So let me read that again all the way through. I, Allah, am the best knower. This book, in which there's no doubt, the Quran, is a guide to those who keep their duty. It's just a guide. It's a guide to those who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer and spend on good works out of what we have given them, and who believe in what has been revealed to you and what was revealed before you, and of the hereafter they are sure. These type of people, they are on a right course from their Lord, and these it is that are successful. So people got different interpretations and definitions of what successful is. People think if you got a lot of money or a lot of fame, that's success. Is that success to y'all? Do y'all think that if you got a lot of money and you got a lot of fame, you're successful, or you're righteous, or you're right because you got a lot of money and fame? Or do Satan Is Satan the one that print the money? Do Satan's the one got the most money? If you're a Christian, the Christians even say it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. And so that don't seem like success if you believe in these type of things. But it said those who disbelieve, to whom it is the same to them whether you warn them or warn them not. They will not believe. Just think about that. This is how important believing is, but this is also how easily we got deceived by people who come in the name of God and in the name of religion, talking about we supposed to believe something, or we supposed to believe in this thing or that thing, or this God or that God, or this book or that book. That's how we got deceived, because we ran into a people that we didn't know was evil by nature, and they had been taught and mastered a science called tricknology, the science of lying, the science of lies, telling lies, stealing, and mastering the original people through wickedness. That'll tell you to believe something because you're not familiar with liars. You're not familiar with a whole race of liars. So this is how we got deceived. But it says those who disbelieve in this revelation, this provable righteous revelation that's based on the universal order of creation, the universal laws of creation. Those who disbelieve in this, it's the same to them whether you warn them or you warn them not. They will not believe. Allah has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and there's a covering on their eyes, and for them is a grievous punishment. And Allah sealed their hearts and their hearing because they sealed their own. So whatever we choose, Allah is going to back us up, or God is going to back us up. If we choose to accept and believe in provable reality, and we, which is truth and righteousness and harmony and treating people the way you want to be treated, not trying to get over on them and beat them and rob them and exploit their ignorance. If you want to do that, then God gonna seal your heart, and he gonna make you stay there because that's what you chose. But if you choose to believe in the freedom and the justice and the equality and the righteous, doing the good and good conduct, and wanting for your brothers and sisters what you want for yourself, then your heart won't be sealed and locked, and you won't suffer a grievous punishment. Let's see, lip profession. Oh, I already just said that, divine unity, and I'm just gonna read this last part and then close it out. But I just want y'all to see how simple it is. I'm not looking at the Arabic. I don't read Arabic. I don't know Arabic, but I know English, and I know natural, universal principles of reality, which is mathematic principles or laws of creation, or laws of treating people the way you want to be treated. O people, serve your Lord who created you and those before you, so that you may guard against evil. O people, serve your Lord who created you and who created those before you, so that you may guard against evil. Keep in mind, there's two types of people. There's two people. You got man and you got mankind on the planet. So even though this Quran applies to both, but it's actually it could be talking to two different people. We're taught that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whom this Holy Quran was revealed to and revealed through, it was revealed to him by an angel, a human being, a black man named Jibril or Gabriel. The angel Gabriel was not a ghost. He was a man, flesh and blood man, a black man who taught Muhammad, peace be upon him. And we taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that Prophet Muhammad was white, was a white man, a white Arab. That's what we taught, right? So just like the Bible, when it says, let us make man, and and the man that was made was Adam. Adam was not the first human being. Adam was the first of the Adamic race, the Adamites, the Adamic race. So right here, when 221, where it says, "Oh people, serve your Lord who created you," that don't necessarily mean the Lord that created us. Because if you know the history, the NOI history of the Lord that created them, that's Yaqub, that's Jacob. He was one of us. He was an original black man that, of the species of Allah, that the nation of Allah, but he wasn't the originator. He was their originator. He wasn't our originator. So when we say, oh, people, depending on what people you're talking about, serve your Lord. Who is your Lord? Who created you? And those before you, so that you may guard against evil. We got different functions and different aims and purposes here. The two opposite opposing nations. But ultimately, it's to lead all of us to righteousness and to conquering the weak, wicked nature, or the weak, wicked, dormant nature that's in us. It says, serve your Lord who created you, who made the earth a resting place for you and the heaven a structure. Right? So the originator God, of course, created the earth itself for this purpose. But then the gods later that made the Adamic race made this a resting place for their people also, and gave them power and dominion to rule over us for a period of 6,000 years. So I don't want to get all the way into that. Let me just read through it. I'm just trying to show you how simple it is to read. It's not like a lot of heretofore, thereof, hereto, hence, like the Bible, that old English type of language. There's some of that in there, but it's not a lot. It said, who made the earth a resting place for you and made the heaven a structure, and sends down rain from the clouds, then brings forth with the rain, brings forth with it fruits for your sustenance. So do not set up rivals to Allah while you know. Don't give nobody else the credit for the creation while you know. Once you hear these teachings, and once you see the proof that there's only one creator, there's only one original nation, there's only one originator, don't give the credit to Big Bang Theory or evolution or Darwin or whatever, partners or rivals that, that people be saying that they rather give the credit to instead of the original God of the original black nation. Say, don't do that. Not after you know better. And it says, and if you are in doubt as to that which we have revealed to our servant, this is we, Allah again, revealed to our servant, meaning Muhammad, or meaning prophets before Muhammad, then produce a chapter like it and call on your helpers besides Allah if you are truthful. If you are in doubt about this being actually divine revelation, then produce just one chapter like it. Don't even produce a whole other Quran, a whole other book. Just see if you can just produce one chapter equal to this, and call on your helpers besides Allah. If you say, oh, I can write a book like that, that ain't really no magic divine book. Allah ain't, really not, we can do that. Okay, we'll do it. And call on all your helpers and besides Allah if you are truthful. But if you don't do it, and you can never do it, then be on your guard against the fire whose fuel is people and stones. It is prepared for the disbelievers. So the fire means the fire of hell, hellfire, who's fueled by men and women, people, and stones, meaning hard heads and hard hearts. Hard heads and hard hearts are the stones that this is referring to. And give good news to those who believe and do good deeds. So we starting with the warnings of punishment and hell, but then because we're living in a world governed and ruled and influenced by Satan, by the devil. So we have to start out checking that. But then, after the warnings, along with the warnings, we giving good news to those who believe and do good deeds. That for them are gardens of paradise in which rivers flow. Whenever they are given a portion of the fruit of these gardens, they will say, this was what was given to us before. And they are given the like of it. And they will have therein pure companions. They will have in the garden this hereafter condition, this after Satan influence is broken, They will have pure companions. They don't have to worry about treacherous females or treacherous, males playing on them or violating them, lying to them. Same with females. We ain't got to worry about no treachery that this world promotes. This world promotes ratchet treachery or pimping or 304ing or playing and, act like an adult, have an affair for once. Wasn't that a Jay-Z lyric? No, in our world, you get domed for that. No, that's a capital punishment offense. We don't play that in our world of righteousness. This was what was given to us before. They are given the like of it, and they will have pure companions in the garden, and therein they will abide or remain. They will stay. They will remain there. You don't have to worry about getting kicked out or somebody overthrowing it or contaminating with evil or some new devils coming in and doing some new technology. None of that. We're going to wipe all of that out. That's being wiped out as we speak. Surely Allah does not disdain or does not have a problem with setting forth any parable or any example, meaning whether it's the size of a gnat, a little gnat, or anything above that. He's the creator of all nature. Everything in creation, whether it's a small gnat or it's a bacteria or a virus or whatever, all of it has meaning. All of it has purpose, and all of it can teach lessons. Surely Allah don't, have a problem with setting forth no example for us to learn from, whether it's the size of a gnat or something smaller than that or above that. But then as for those who believe, and, they know that it's all the truth from their Lord. They understand the principle and the lesson in any creation of nature, any living creation or, that God create down to the atoms. That, that's what real scientists, real angels, and real gods, we deal with the reality of the value of the unseen, smallest things, way smaller than a gnat. Atoms, molecules, viruses. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what's wiping out the population? Ain't that what Dr. Fauci just used? Just because you can't see it with your eye and you think it's a curse, a demon curse, and you can just pray it away. No, no, that's real science on just a microscopic level or microscopic level. And if we don't have that knowledge, we're going to get toe up like we've been getting toe up. Why don't no religions teach that? They don't teach the science of the atom, the science of molecules, atomic physics, molecular physics, virology, epidemiology, immunology. You teaching prayers and charity past the collection plate. Nah, that we supposed to be taught the science of everything in life so we can be masters, like the master of this day of judgment. So surely Allah, is important to him to set forth parables on that level, on that scale, the atomic scale, to let you know that exists and that you should learn that level of reality and the building blocks of creation. As for those who believe, they know it is the truth from their Lord. And as for those that disbelieve, they say, what is it that Allah means by this example? Why would he bring up atoms and molecules? We can't see atoms and molecules. Oh, okay. Many he leaves in error by the examples or the small examples, and many he leads aright by it. And he leaves in error only by it the transgressors or the wrongdoers that choose to be weak and choose to be lazy. Those who break the agreement of Allah after his confirmation and cut apart what Allah orders to be joined, and they make mischief in the land. And these are the losers. Whatever you make an agreement with them, they break their agreement. Whatever, you're supposed to be trying to join and unite together, they do some treacherous or betrayal or whatever, and they break it. They try to get over. Oh, I can get over right here. I can do some slick while they value and following these rules to stick together. I can break ranks and go for mine. These it is that are the losers. How can you deny Allah and you were without life and he gave you life? How can you deny Allah when we was mentally dead and he brought us back to life for us to even have this conversation, for us to be even aware of what happened to us, because we was dead for the last four days, like Lazarus. 4 days mean 4 centuries. How can you deny Allah? And we was dead like Lazarus for the last 4 days, 4 centuries, and he gave us life to where we can even be having these conversations and identifying who did that to us and being able to wake up and fight against it. Again, he will cause you to die again and bring you to life. Then you shall be brought back to him. So this is talking about that master, Fard Muhammad, that master of this day of judgment, because this is judgment talk. So that I would go into that, but that's a process. It says, again, he will cause you to die, because it can't be talking about physical death, right? How many times can you physically die and be brought back? That can't be talking about physical death. Again, he will cause you to die and again bring you to life. Then you should be brought back to him once and for all, meaning brought back to Allah, brought back to your Allah self, brought back to being your Allah self, brought back to being one with your Allah nation, your Allah species, which is the righteous. It don't mean just black. Ultimately, we all going to be brought back to righteousness, or we just going to get wiped out. He it is who created for you all that is in the earth, and he directed himself to the heaven. So he made them complete 7 heavens, and he is knower of all things. Do y'all see the cosmic alignment of the 7 planets right now in 2025, the last few days? That's what that means. In the Nation of Islam, out of the 9 planets in our solar system, we taught by Master Fard Muhammad through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that all 9 planets in our solar system has life on them, but 7 of them have people on them. So a planet can't be considered a heaven if there's no people to enjoy it. Heaven is for people. Heaven and hell is for people. So it says, he it is who created for you all that is in the earth, this heaven, and he directed himself to the heaven. So he made them complete 7 heavens. 7 of the planet have people on them. 7 of the planets are heavens to the people who are native to those planets. They can't enjoy our heaven. We can't enjoy their heaven. It's impossible. You can never live on Mars, and Mars people can never live here. You can't enjoy what their water, their air, their atmosphere, their vegetation, they makeup, biological makeup. You can't enjoy that. You can't be that, and they can't be this. It's airtight, fail safe, tick tock. The game is locked. You cannot bombard or invade no other planet's heaven. I don't know if y'all want me to keep going. I'll keep going. Peace. But I do want y'all to know and understand how we understand things. So maybe I'll go one more little section and shut it down. And I don't really get into the like greatness of mankind and need for revelation. That's the translator's footnotes. So I mean, you can it's good reading. I'm not saying, but it's not Quran. It's kind of based on what they think that the background or the backdrop was for when this chapter was revealed and what was going on and what was the circumstances and conditions and this and that. But I just go straight. I have read it. I've been doing this for 35 years, but I'm just letting you know, you don't have to do that. You can get straight to the meat and potatoes. So it says, and when your Lord said to the angels, and when your Lord said to the angels, it didn't say when the Lord. It says, when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. The angel said, will you place in it such as make mischief in it and shed blood? So these angels are familiar with bloodshed because they're humans. Ghosts ain't worried about bloodshed. It said, and when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. Not in the space, ghosts, ether, heaven, wherever the angels, y'all think angels exist at. They said, will you place in it such as make mischief in it and shed blood? And we celebrate your praise, Allah, and extol your holiness. He said, surely I know what you know not. Let's crack that open. So we taught and we teach that if you speak into Adam, or Yaqub is the God that made Adam, the Adamites or the Adamic race. And the process before he made them, it was a process that caused a rebellion, because the process of genetic engineering and selective breeding and technology that was used to bring them into existence out of us, to bring the dominant and recessive genes out and then kill off the darker or the dominant genes and save the lighter, and marry the lighter genes onto the lighter genes and kill off the darker and save the lighter, and marry the lighter and kill off the darker. So that process kept up for 600 years. And that's why this number is 6. That's one of the 6s in the 666. But it says, when your Lord said to the angels, your Lord at that time being Yaqub, if I'm talking to Muhammad and Muhammad is white, and I'm telling Muhammad, when your Lord Yaqub said to the angels around him, to those other angels, they wasn't gods, they wasn't at the level of knowledge of mastery of science and understanding that they was considered gods, but they was right under God. Yaqub was considered a god because of his scientific vision and knowledge and idea of how to bring what he envisioned into existence, which is a new race of people opposite of the original. He was a god of this idea. He wasn't the originator of the idea, but he was the God that brought it into existence. So it says, when your Lord Muhammad said to the angels around him, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. They said, those wise scientists or geneticists or scientists of righteousness, angels that was around him, helping him or familiar with him, they said, what will you place in it besides that which makes mischief and causes the shedding of blood? And we celebrate your praise and extol your holiness. We know you holy and righteous in your science and in your history and your track record, but why would you do this? Why would you bring into existence on our planet something that's going to cause hell, terror, torture, destruction, abomination? Like, why would you bring that onto the planet? This is what the righteous angels is saying to that righteous scientist, God, Lord. And they got a point. That's an excellent point. And he says, surely I know what you know not. So that's letting them know they don't agree with that. They don't like that. The angels, the righteous black angels at that time, don't agree with that. And this is kind of skipping. So I'm gonna come back to this. So he taught Adam all the names after he made him. I don't want to skip to him making them yet. But let me go back to this. So when Yaqub, the maker, Yaqub wasn't Allah. He was from the nation of Allah, the original people. When he had this idea and this scientific method about how to go about it, which involved breeding, selective breeding, and he required 60,000 black people to cooperate, and they wasn't going to know what was being done to their offspring and what the real purpose. It was compartmentalized. So only these angels, these top helpers was going to know what was really going on. So if the nature of these people that had to be totally opposite of our nature, we black and we original and we righteous, the nature of this opposite people had to be the opposite of that. Opposite of black, opposite of original, opposite of righteous. And the method that he went about by producing this was through, not just through grafting, but what he did with the darker people in the grafting process, and the lies that he told, and Those are the things that the angels, the righteous angels that rebelled, that's why they rebel. So Iblis is called a rebel or a devil because he rebelled against Allah's vision and this choice to bring the devil out of us and give it time to rule our planet for 6,000 years. The righteous angels rebelled. So it wasn't that they was wicked because they rebelled. They was wrong because they didn't understand what was hiding in our own DNA. They didn't understand that devil was in us, dormant in us, and that was the source of all of the problems and the impediments that we've been suffering since the originator brought himself into existence. So this God was wise enough to know that you have to break some eggs to make an omelet. We have to sacrifice some lives for 6,000 years to pull this out of us, to finally get rid of it once and for all, or to purify it once and for all. That's the science of reality. And it takes time, it takes life, and it takes death. It takes bloodshed. Just like when you have a baby, it takes pain and bloodshed. There's no new life coming into existence without that. And of course, if we lack knowledge, then we not only are ignorant, we become emotionally reactive. Emotionally reactive. You don't have a knowledge of what must be done, or the origin of where we come from and what we had to go through to get here, or what the originator had to go through, or all of the creators before we got here. Once we got here, things was already here, created. So we're born kind of spoiled. Everything is already laid out for us, and we don't have a knowledge of who did it and what price was paid, for it to be here, and none of that. So let me keep reading. And your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. They said, what will you place in it such as make mischief in it and shed blood? And we celebrate your praise and extol your holiness. He said, surely I know what you know not. So after he made them, he taught Adam all the names. Then he presented them to the angels, and he said, tell me the names of those if you are right. He's doing a challenge to the angels. He taught Adam, so he just made this new race of people and taught them some things. And then he went to the angels and said, now you tell me, the names of this and the names of that. Tell me what this is that I just brought out of you. And they say, we don't have no, they say, glory be to you. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. We don't know genetic science. We don't know dominant genes and recessive genes and traits. We don't know what you're doing. We don't know what was hiding in us. Surely you are the knowing, the wise about that. And then, the God said to Adam informed them of the names, informed them of what they didn't know was hiding in them. So when Adam or the Adamic race started informing them of their names or their nature or what was hiding, they functioned in their purpose. Allah said, did I not say to you that I know what is unseen in the heavens and the earth, and I know what you manifest and what you hide? I know what's hiding in you. You didn't know this people was hiding in you. You didn't know that this was the source of your frustration or the impediments or the problems and the reasons why we couldn't perfect the creation throughout trillions of years of time. You didn't know that this was the source of it. I did. I saw that this was the source of it. So I brought it out, and I'm going to allow it to rule you and our people for 6,000 years. And you're right. They're going to bring total hell to the planet, but they have to do that. They're like a virus that is going to wipe out a whole lot of us, but it's going to force us to spiritually and morally mutate, to produce a herd immunity or an immunity to wickedness or devil or evil or Satan once and for all, so we can get rid of this once and for all. So this whole bringing devil out of us was a scientific operation, just like viruses, virology. And when we said to the angels after this, after he produced his man, and Allah said to the angels that had a problem with that, be submissive now to Adam. Now submit to this Adamic race so they can rule for 6,000 years. And they submitted except Iblis. They all submitted except Iblis. One of them didn't. He refused and was proud, and he was one of the disbelievers in this process. Even though, he was righteous, he's still standing on his righteousness. No, this is wicked. I'm not believing in it. I'm not submitting to no devil. And Allah said, oh, Adam, dwell you and your wife in the garden and eat from it a plenteous food from wherever you wish. But do not approach this tree or this person or this type of people right here, unless you be, tree, or you would be this tree, or you would be from among the unjust. Now, this is God telling his new people who to look out for, because you won't be successful if you allow these righteous angel, or this angel who's standing on, what he sees as righteousness, and it is righteousness, to convince you to not do your purpose. Your purpose is to take over the world with wickedness, to be the devils and the Satans that I made y'all to be, to rule over the righteous for 6,000 years. That is your purpose. Now, if you're not mature spiritually enough to accept that, then you just living in an emotional delusion, and you don't want to face the real question and answer of why your God made devil on the earth. It says, but the devil, now Iblis is the devil. Now Iblis is the devil. Iblis is the enemy, right? So Adam is really the man of sin. Adam is the real devil people, but Iblis is the Satan. Iblis is more powerful and wise. So now the God is telling Adam, beware of Iblis, because Iblis actually has, more rank and more powerful nature than you do. So beware of him, because he will cause you to slip, because you're a new Johnny-come-lately, grafted, weak, vulnerable, susceptible people that if you not, tighten it, the righteous will get rid of you. The righteous will stop you from living out your purpose. And they almost did, because 2,000 years, they lost 2,000 years in the caves, because once they started making so much trouble, I'm talking about the Adamic race, in the first 6 months of coming back to the Holy Land from Pilan or Patmos, the island that they got manufactured on, once they showed up on the shores of the Holy Land, and they start causing so much trouble among the righteous that the righteous black people rounded them all up, as many as they can find. And Cable told them, ran them over the hot Arabian desert, stripped them naked, stripped them of everything, took everything except from them except the language, and whipped them, beat them every step of the way, 2,200 miles over the hot Arabian desert into the caves of Europe, where they got bound up by the righteous for 2,000 years, because they did get discovered. That, at least that group, the masses of them, did get discovered. And Moses had to be sent 2,000 years later to bring them out of the cave so they can fulfill the rest of their purpose, the rest of their 4,000 years, so they can hurry up and take over the world, because they lost 2,000 years. I know that's a whole lot to go into, and if you never heard this before, that you got way more questions every time I'm saying something. So let me just keep going. It says, and we said, oh, Adam, dwell you and your wife in the garden and eat from it a plenteous food from wherever you wish, but approach not this tree or this people, this Iblis person or his people with that same idea, for then you would be of the unjust. But the devil or Iblis made Adam slip from it and caused them to depart from the state in which they were. So we said, go forth, Adam and Adamic race. Some of you are enemies of others now. So now you got enemies. You got some of the white people. I'm trying to avoid saying that word. Some of those people that wanna be righteous and don't want to do that wickedness and try to take over the world, in wickedness. And you got some that, no, we want to do that. We're going to fulfill our purpose and we're going to do that. So now it's two classes of them, right? They both got weak, wicked natures, but one of them don't want to do that warfare, and the other one want to just live out their weak, wicked life their own way. And there is for you in the earth an abode or a provision for a time. So then Adam received revealed words from his Lord, and he turned to him mercifully. Surely Allah is often returning to mercy, the merciful. So knowing that we made them weak and wicked, we have mercy on them. They didn't choose to make themselves. They didn't have no power. So that's one of the reasons why we gave them power and dominion, because they wouldn't even be able to survive if they wasn't in rulership. They, biologically and mentally are so weak and wicked and so susceptible that we had to give them rulership. We had to give them power just so they would survive, let alone take over and fulfill their purpose. So we was merciful. The God was merciful, knowing that he made them so weak, and it would be pure terror and torment for them to have to live among us original people and not only be genetically inferior, but be, socially and influentially inferior. No, we had to compensate their genetic inferiority by giving them power and dominion and a time to rule, 6,000 whole years. So Allah is not unfair or unjust to not even the devil. And we said, go forth from this state, all of you. Surely a guidance from me will come to you. Then whoever follows my guidance, no fear shall come upon them, nor shall they grieve in the thing that they had to do, which is taking over the world of the righteous with wickedness. I'm saying I'm guiding you to do that. I'm giving you dominion. I'm giving you my blessings to bring hell on the planet. So you can do it with no fear and no grief, no conscience. You don't have to worry about it. I'm blessing you to do it. Do it, because I need you to be this widespread plague of deaths, to force my people to build immunity, force my people to mutate. I need you to terrorize. I need you to wipe them out if you can. I know you can't, but you're going to force that mutation power in the original God to step up and produce one that's going to wipe the virus out. And that one is Master Father Muhammad. And as to those who disbelieve and reject our messages, they are the companions of the fire, and in it they will abide. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to go no further into that, but I just wanted y'all to see the Quran and how we in the Nation of Islam understand it and interpret it and prove it and can prove it and have proved it, and why no scholars of Orthodox Islam or Orthodox Judaism or Christianity can come close. They all must shut their mouths, because most of this is the secrets of the secret societies, Freemasons, Skull and Bones, Shriners. This is their secret society. This is above top secret. This is the secret that they've been hiding for thousands of years. And this is the revelation of Allah, God in person, the master of this day of judgment, their judgment and our judgment in which we now live. So if this makes any sense to you, or if it's interesting enough, I'm not here to debate. This is Ramadan, so I'm not in the spirit to argue with nobody. I won't be arguing until Allah please Ramadan is over. Then I'm not only going to have arguments. If Allah please, I'm going to resume and aggressively and offensively on the offense come do the curse challenge, where everybody that claims God and claims that we don't represent the true and living God. So we're on the offense. So But right now we on the olive branch. We on appealing the last appeal, the last olive branch, the last season of appeal, the last 30 days of appealing, because grace is over with. I spoke a little bit yesterday because, I believe that Allah wanted me to say something before it happened about what he showed me regarding Tank, Javante Tank Davis. And I took it down because it was proven to me, and for those that caught it, it was for them. But for sure, the experiment was 100%. So confirmed. So what if Allah please, that's only if Allah please, only if Master Fard Muhammad and Mahdi Elijah Muhammad please, will I do what I think he's telling me that I'm supposed to do when Ramadan is over, if I'm alive, if I live that long. But the keys, the rod and the staff and the keys have been given out and are being given out. And I hate to have to talk in cold language, but it's only for the wise. Yeah. So fasting is prescribed for us. If y'all believe, or if y'all think that it might be something to this, fast. Fast. Detox, whatever you want to call it, but fast. Deny yourself food, deny yourself sex, deny yourself the natural things that we rely on every day, and start working out spiritually, start working out more morally, because there's some keys that's being given out, keys to unlock the powers over the forces of nature. And trust me, you want them keys. We want them keys. There's 17 million of them. There's 17 million of these keys. And you want yours. You want yours. And this is the way to get it, through fasting, praying. If you say that I don't pray, all right, well, you won't get them. You won't get one. Pray to the God that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad represents to us, which is Allah, the originator, who now is in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. Pray. Just test it out. What you got to lose? Well, I don't pray to no white man. He's not no white man. His mother is white. Father is a jet black original God man born in Mecca, Arabia. What you got to lose? Do you feel like you betraying Jesus if you do that? No, this is the God of Jesus. This is the God of all the prophets. Why would you be scared to do that, but you're not scared to pray to a white Jesus? You're not scared to pray to a mystery Jesus. I'm way more scared to pray to a mystery God than I am to a real God. Is your God that petty? Is your God petty? Where you say, I'm a DAMN your soul, I'm gonna condemn your soul if you trying to find the real God to pray to. If you really trying to find me and my real identity, you think he mad at you? Or do you think he's merciful and oh, my son or my daughter is really trying to reach out and really find me? Even if we wrong, he ain't petty, right? If we wrong, he gonna put us on the right path to who he really is. And if you feel like you already got there, if you already know who he really is he a he? I would like for you to tell me. Tell me exactly who and what and where and why he is. Because if you can't tell me that, then you don't know him. And you're capping and you're lying. So that's going to be unsuccessful. Praying to a mystery God now in this season, as grace is over with, divine grace of the real, true, and living God is over with. Praying to a mystery God will not work anymore. You will see. The Lord had grace on us, and He take care of, children and fools, right? God used to answer our prayers because we was babies. He wanted to show you, just like you when you were a baby. As soon as you cry, your mama like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" They waiting on you hand and foot. They serving you like a waiter, right? Like a slave. But once you get old enough, not only are they not serving you like a slave, when you ask them for something, they might whoop you for asking them, because no, I made sure that you stayed alive and got treated and took care of and served to the point where your legs work now. I made sure you got knowledge of how to do what I do. So not only will I'm not going to answer your prayers, I might punish you for trying to pray to me to do for you what I know you can do and should do for yourself. So that's what we at right here. Pray to this God and you will get favor. If you're a baby in hearing about this Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, you will get served. You will instantly get results. And you're going to be like, "Oh man, this is beautiful. This is the real God. I never, but it's not going to stay like that, because that's God showing you, yeah, this is me answering your prayers, but it's time for you to hurry up and walk. You are at war. You're prey among the beasts and the dragons. You're like a little deer or a gazelle. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they get born, you can't be like, "Mama Gazelle, you birthed me. Can you carry me on your back? I shouldn't have to run." Okay, well, you finna get ate then. Finna get eaten then. No, you better hurry up and learn how to run. You better hurry up and learn how to pray. You know what I'm saying? You better test out them legs. Your prayers is them legs. You better hurry up and run to the real God, or not. Just see what happens if you don't. Well, my God been getting me through, okay, we'll see if he continues to do it. My job is to deliver the message clearly and get the blood off my hands. That's all. So when it fails, as it will, then fly to the God that we are representing and test that God out. You ain't got nothing to lose, because all else is going to fail. So on that note, I'm at an hour 107. That's a good number. Peace and blessings. Like, subscribe, share. Please share this and join us with fast and detox fast. Fast with the Muslims. You don't have to call yourself a Muslim. It's still going to benefit you mentally, spiritually, physically, morally, and economically. On that note, man, peace and love. Ramadan Mubarak. And until tomorrow, inshallah, peace.